We do believe that it was an ambush and it was intentional.
We are learning more tonight about the man suspected of ambushing firefighters in Idaho, killing 2 of them and wounding a 3rd. Good evening, everyone. Glad you're with us tonight. I'm Jim Snyder.
And I'm Latoya Silman. Police say the suspect, identified as 20-year-old Wes Rowley, appears to have fatally shot himself at some point. Authorities believe that he was living in his car and lived in California, Arizona, and Idaho. He had no criminal record, but police interacted with him multiple times for minor trespassing incidents. Police showed a now deleted Instagram story photo of Rowley wearing dark camouflage, makeup, and a mask carrying ammunition. Rowley apparently interacted with the firefighters before opening fire after they asked him to move his vehicle.
He at one time wanted to be a firefighter. So we don't know if there's a nexus to that desire and what happened.
He was found to be in possession of a flint fire starter and also a shotgun. His motive remains pretty unclear right now, but crews halted further progress on the brush fire. The crime scene still pretty active.
And that leads us, we're asking you at home, especially with the local case we're going to remind you of in a minute, are you concerned about the safety of our first responders here in Las Vegas who protect us all? Right now, a majority of you say, yes, you are. And you can weigh in by heading to news3lv.com, or that's the best way to reach us, to weigh in there.
Well, here is the procession for those 2 firefighters who died in that ambush. The firefighters were taken to Spokane as part of a procession with firefighters, police, EMS, and other first responders. Dozens of members of the public gathered on overpasses to show their respect for the fallen firefighters. A 3rd one was injured in the shooting and is now recovering in the hospital. That firefighter, we're told, is said to be stable at last check. Well, a local nonprofit is speaking out following this tragedy of the events they were seeing play out in Idaho.
Yeah, we're honored now to be joined by retired NYPD firefighter, 9/11 responder, and founder of Firefighter Memorial Transport, Frank Pizarro. Frank, thank you for spending the time. Your organization transports fallen firefighters and their families, so you are connected to, unfortunately, tragedies like this. As a fellow firefighter, first, give us your reaction to what happened in Idaho.
Well, as soon as I heard what was going on, I called all my friends throughout the nation that I knew to tell them to keep their heads on a swivel. It's a dangerous job as it is, and it doesn't make it any easier to have people taking pot shots at you, unfortunately.
Yeah, and of course, we'll get to what happened here years ago in our own area, but this is not something that is typical. I mean, firefighters, you guys, it's in the name, you fight fires, but now you're having to encounter violence. How would you all protect yourselves in situations if we start to see more of this?
Well, you always have the safety of the rig, and at a lot of these instances, we do have law enforcement on site. There's a lot of other things we could do. I thought about maybe having drones launched ahead of the arrival of the members. Some other kind of preemptive check of the area, but there's nothing really you can do. You just have to focus on your job. And these are all hazards that we have to deal with on a daily basis.
It's so sad to know that that is the case, and talk about, you know, sending drones up to make sure it's clear. I go back to, I was in LA during the riots there in the early 90s, and you'll remember that story where so many buildings were burning and firefighters weren't even responding because there was so much gunfire aimed at them. Is that part of training now, Frank, to be a firefighter, to be aware of that kind of threat?
Well, this is the thing. We've always had that kind of training. We've always been told to keep our heads on the swivel. We've experienced gunfire to our rigs during protest situations back in the early days when I was working. But the whole job, whether it be firefighter, first responder, is to keep your head on the swivel and always be prepared for the worst. I mean, it's unfortunate, but it's just what we have to deal with, and we're always prepared for those kind of things.
Yeah, our of course thoughts are with the firefighters who lost their lives in the situation in Idaho. How is your organization, your foundation, helping those who are impacted by this?
Well, as Jim said earlier, we do carry fallen firefighters. We've extended it, and now we carry military veterans and police officers. And what we do at this point, being that the vehicles are based here in the valley, We do provide financial help and assistance and counseling and those kind of things nationwide. So we're here for anybody who wants to talk. We can discuss any other assistance that we can give, but we're always here for the families. And even if it's not a tragedy, we're here to prevent those tragedies. We do have the suicide issue and all those other things, but we're here and we're always available and always willing to help.
Well, bless you for the work you do, and we'll remind our viewers the title of your organization is right behind you, the Firefighter Memorial Transport. They are nonprofit, so if you feel like you'd like to pitch in to help with their good work, you can find them online to do that. Frank, thank you for the time tonight.
Thank you for having me.
And now we'll get back to that case we've referenced a couple times. If you've been around here for a while, you may remember when our local firefighters faced gunfire. It was back in 2009. A Metro officer was wounded in the arm there after Brian Hanaz opened fire on firefighters who were trying to put out a house fire that was determined to be arson. He was responding to a radio dispatch from the fire crew that someone was shooting at them. Police shot and killed Hanaz, who did have a lengthy criminal history. He had served time in prison for robbery in the 1990s.
Let's return.